What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we have some awesome battles with Skeledirge and Greninja. Those two alone, I mean, on their own they're exciting to watch and use, but them being the core of this Halloween Cup team has me very excited. I hope we get a lot of booms today. We have this battle submission from Felrose, a fellow content creator, so I'll have a link to his channel down in the description, so be sure to go check him out and subscribe. And let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, getting into the first battle here, we have Skeledirge versus Toxicroak on the lead. Pretty good lead. They just have to watch out for Mud Bomb, obviously. But we will see a swap out into Dragalge as they're going to go ahead and counter swap now into Drapion after loading up a little bit of energy here. Now, this is kind of a tough mid-game matchup. You got a lot of neutral pressure with Aqua Tail and Dragon Tail from the Dragalge right there, and we have Crunch on Drapion, which can do quite a bit as well. So this is going to come down to who's going to decide to shield, and Zare with Drapion is deciding to no shield. They will be able to survive, but we will see them get to a Crunch in time, and this is going to get very dangerous very quickly if the opponent decides to shield, which they don't. So they maintain switch. Toxicroak only gets one counter in, as Skeledirge can easily come back in and look to go for Disarming Voice as the opponent swaps into a Swilios. Please, just let it through. Boom! Yes! Why did they try to catch that? I don't know, but I'm here for it, as Toxicroak now is just going to get deleted by the Skeledirge. Talk about a core break right here. The Disarming Voice on Skeledirge is so good for coverage. I will eventually showcase this Pokemon myself, don't worry guys, but remember I missed out on that event, so it's kind of hard for me to get a good IV and a lot of candy for it. I could toss rare candy into it, but I'm hoping they have another event for it soon, or at least maybe during next season, so that I can unleash Skeledirge myself, as we're just going to see the absolute destruction here of this Toxicroak as they're going to go down. So Skeledirge able to make a beautiful team sweep right there as they take down the Toxicroak. Boom. See ya. Good game, very well played. All right, moving into the next one, we have Skeledirge versus Shadow Gardevoir here on the lead. So very positive lead, as they will be resisting Charm. And the Incinerates are shredding. Yep, they do decide to go for the Disarming Voice. I thought they were going to try to go for one more Incinerate, but this is obviously going to be enough to KO. Yes, it does. Boom. See ya. What decides to come in? It's going to be Tyranitar, so they're going to go ahead and swap into Drapion. It's going to be Shadow Victory Bell. So a triple Shadow fast move team right there. Gardevoir, Tyranitar, and Victory Bell, which is just going to get destroyed by the Skeledirge with energy. Obviously, Disarming Voice, and then the fast move Incinerate here for the Victory Bell, as another Crunch will come through as two shields go down. Do they get to another Crunch in time? No, they're going to go ahead and let this go. This is fine. Skeledirge can easily come in and farm down. Oh, actually, they might. No, they don't get to the Crunch. Skeledirge is obviously going to come in. It's going to delete the Victory Bell, and now one-shot the Shadow Tyranitar with a Disarming Voice right here. You love to see it. Boom! Actually, no, it didn't one-shot, but they swap in Greninja, and that's going to be a good game. All right, moving into the next one, we have Skeledirge versus Sableye. So this is a very tough lead because of Shadow Claw, so we're going to see that swap out into Drapion, but they can come back into that matchup with energy because of Disarming Voice, right? Super effective damage against those Dark-type Pokemon. But we see a Drapion mirror fight, which is very interesting because this, especially with the defense drop, this obviously could be flipped. When you're in the mirror and ahead on energy, they could just take switch advantage with no problem. But the tough thing for the opponent is Crunches now are going to be doing way more damage than theirs are to Zare's Drapion because of that debuff. As you guys can see, that is a lot of damage, as they will decide to let this next one go through. And this is where we might see shields. And obviously, if we see a shield from the opponent, Skeledirge could come in and farm down. with Incinerate and have Disarming Voice for Sableye. So let's see how they decide to play it out. They decide to let it go. Sableye is going to go ahead and come in and get a good amount of energy, as Greninja now can handle the Sableye here. They just have to watch out for Return, which is going to be the very hard-hitting charge move there. They're going to go ahead and Shield. Looking to stop. No, it is going to be the foul play Shield Bait as they go for Night Slash right now. Now, Night Slash and Hydro Cannon do a decent amount of damage in this matchup. And then we do see a counter swap into Frostlass. Uh-oh! Core broken Greninja right now, landing it, as we will see Skeledirge come back in and look to farm down with Incinerate. But Frostlass is able to get to the Avalanche in time. So they're going to go ahead and let this go, as it is going to be resisted. They have Disarming Voice. They have Incinerate. This Sableye, unfortunately, is facing off against Armageddon, as it is not going to be able to survive the onslaught of fast and charge move pressure here, as they're going to go ahead and let the Skeledirge go down. And then we will see Greninja come in and fast move down. That is going to be a good game, very well played. Alright, moving into the next one, we have Skeledirge versus Azumarill. Okay, so kind of tough lead and good core breaker, so they're going to go ahead and swap out into Drapion when the game lets them. Unfortunately, that 5-turn move is quite a wait, but they do have Sludge Bomb, and the Azumarill stayed in way too long, because now Sludge Bomb is a lot of free damage right here, and they get a shield as well, so maybe they are core broken in the back. We'll have to see how they decide to, what they decide to do in this mid-game matchup, as a Play Rough will land. And we do see a counter swap into Charge Bug, so Crunch is going to go ahead and come through. And this is a good situation where they've already gotten themselves shield advantage. Drapion gets a defense drop as well, and if the Charge Bug tries to commit to the farm down, which it's not, but if it did, they would get another Crunch off. Now, Skeledirge can come in and farm down and look to land a Shadow Ball or two against the Azumarill. They might have to give up a shield. No, they're going to go ahead and let it go, trusting that it might not be Crunch, that it's just going to be Discharge, which it is, as they can survive, and they do get the farm down. Now, Azumarill coming back in. They have a lot of energy here, so let's see what the opponent decides to do. They're going to come in with... They do come in with the Azumarill, so a Shadow Ball will be fired off right here. Not enough to one-shot the XL Azumarill, right? But enough to get a shield, and Greninja now can come in, and you might be thinking, hold on, Greninja into Azumarill. The thing is, Azumarill, the only damage it does, really, to a Greninja is with its charge move Play Rough. So, as long as they have this massive shield advantage, they're going to be sitting really well, as we will see Wormadam Trash Cloak come in. And Greninja is going to make quick work of this team, as Hydro Cannon does a lot of damage. That dark typing here on Greninja as well is going to be resisting the Confusion Fast move. So we're going to see the almighty Greninja sweep, as they can commit to the farm down right here and have loaded energy on the back end for Azumarill. And Hydro Cannon, even though it is resisted, it still does a good amount. I think like 3 Hydro Cannons is going to be a good game. There's still the Skeledirge as well with some energy, very close to a Disarming Voice. I think maybe one more Incinerate and it'll be there, maybe 1 or 2. As Hydro Cannons, yeah, 3 Hydro Cannons should probably be enough. They can safely shield this, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. So this is what happens when the Greninja is in neutral matchups. When it comes, they decide to surrender. Good game. Yeah, Greninja, when it's left alone and there's no hard-hitting fast moves, it can really tear apart teams. Speaking of hard-hitting fast moves, there is a Shadow Golurk on the other side, which absolutely shreds with Mud Slap against both Skeledirge and Drapion here. So we're going to see 1 Crunch land, and let's see if they can get to 2 in time. This is going to be extremely close. The opponent swaps out into Greninja now, so this is a very tough uphill battle for Zaire, as they're going to go ahead and probably come into their own Greninja, or they might sacrifice their Skeledirge. No, he's going to come in with Greninja right here and look to try to get rid of it. Shiny fight as well. Would you love to see? It did have a community day, and rest in peace to anyone who missed that. Hopefully you can get one in December, as they typically, December's Community Day typically has all the year's Pokemon available to you. So if you're watching this, oh, and it lands, beautiful. That's exactly what you want. You want to have a healthy Greninja to try to close this game out. We do see Chargebug come in, and they're deciding to stay in. The Golett is not swapping in yet. This is dangerous for the opponent. I don't know why. Maybe they got Crunch. No, it's going to be Discharge, as they're going to go ahead and swap out now into Golett, but not before the charge move can come through. That is unfortunate, as they're going to be forced to shield here, as it is going to be Shadow Punch, and they do have Shadow Ball ready to go. This is going to get the final shield now from Golett. No, it's boom, 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 see ya, as we will see Chargebug come back in, but another Disarming Voice is ready to go here, forcing the final shield now from the Chargebug. And now this is, unless Greninja has a charge move ready. No, oh, they could have gone for Hydro Cannon. Oh, that was way too close. Hopefully Night Slash is going to be enough to KO. Yeah, it is. Who was worried? Yeah, good game. Greninja just takes it. Yeah. Good game. All right, moving into the next one, we have Skeledirge versus Chargebug. Very positive lead. Let's burn that thing to the ground, as we do see a safe swap into Toxicroak, which is fine as well, because the Skeledirge can just eat this thing alive, as they can safely shield the Mud Bombs. Now, Toxicroak is going to be able to get to 3 Mud Bombs before they can farm down with Incinerate. So they're going to be forced to throw energy right here, and hopefully they can get 3 Disarming Voices off in time, but we will have to see. Yeah, here comes the second one. And Toxicroak desperately loading up on energy, hoping to get the back-to-back Mud Bombs, but this is going to be close, and we might see a sack swap here, as I think the Toxicroak may be 2 away. I wasn't counting, but my the force tells me 2. 1, 2. No, 3. They were 3 away, as Disarming Voice now is going to be taking it out. So, maintaining switch advantage. All shields are down. In comes a Chargebug, which is obviously going to get destroyed as they swap into Drapion here to catch the charge move, saving energy on the Skeledirge. That Disarming Voice might come in clutch, as there could be a Dark type in the back, as Sludge Bomb now is going to be coming through for quite a bit of neutral damage here against the Chargebug. Going to be enough to survive, as Chargebug should be able to take down the Drapion unless they get greedy. Ooh, that was close. Okay. This charge move will be KOing the Drapion. Question is, do you come in with Greninja? I feel like you gotta come... No, they come in with Skeledirge to try to get the farm down, but they don't get it in time, and unfortunately... Oh, it's just an X-Scissor. That is perfect. And it's gonna be Scizor in the back. Oh, the almighty boom. This destroyed Scizor and its family. Boom! See ya! My gosh, that's like 170% of its health right there. Literally took out the family. Alright, we got Whimsicott on the lead. Very, very good lead right here. Obviously, we will see the opponent decide to stay in. No, they swap out into Jellicent. So they're going to go ahead and look to go for a Shadow. No, they just swap out into Drapion to catch a charge. I thought we might have seen a Shadow Ball then swap out. But ultimately, they have very good answers right here with both Drapion and Greninja. So we will see the Drapion look to soak 2 Surfs right here. Not going to be enough to KO, especially with having the Hex Fast move there from Jellicent. But Drapion has to put the pressure back on right here, as Crunch is going to be doing super effective damage, but it's not enough to KO. So this is where things get very dangerous, because now they're going to be forced to shield in this situation, as they did decide to stay in with Skeledirge earlier. And this is where things get kind of dangerous. So they're going to go ahead and throw a Crunch, and now it's going to be a race to see who gets to the next charge move, unless they decide to let it go. Okay, they let it go. All right. And Whimsicott's going to go ahead and come in, but this Whimsicott is going to be... Ooh, just before the Sludge Bomb can come through. That would have been beautiful if it could have been thrown, because obviously that either gets a shield or it KOs, as Skeledirge now comes in. The opponent is looking to stay in. Maybe their core broken in the back. They're going to go ahead and throw the Disarming Voice, looking to get the first shield. The opponent's just not shielding, and it is going to be Greninja in the back, so a Disarming Voice will come through, but they're going to have to go into the Greninja mirror, and this is where things get dangerous, is because they're behind on energy, and it's even shields. So we're going to have to see a Hydro Cannon land and a no-shield Night Slash in order to win. No, it's going to be Hydro Cannon right there. There's the first one. Again, they're behind, I think, one fast move on energy. So this is going to be a very close endgame as both trainers decide to no shield. Here's the next charge move from Greninja, but he's evened it up with the fast moves as they're going to go ahead and shield. And if it can CMP tie, potentially, here we go. They're going to go for Night Slash. Nope, there was another sneak. Well, they're obviously going to be sneaking through since they have the same fast move. But it's going to be coming down. Oh, the opponent decided to swap out into Whimsicott. I think this seals the deal. It's going to come down to CMP tie. I think Greninja might have another charge move, but Skeledirge is going to be able to farm down. It has a disarming voice. It's going to come down to CMP tie. Who has the higher attack? The Greninja does. Unfortunately, Skeledirge is going to go down. Oh, boom. Down it goes. It had a disarming voice ready to go. Good game. All right, moving into the next one. We have Skeledirge versus Chargebug once again. Burn it alive. Here we go. Let's see what is going to happen. They're deciding to stay in. Could be core broken by the ghost typing. Maybe, I mean, honestly, it could be anything, right? This could be a crunch too. I think that was 3. No, it's going to be discharge. They could be core broken by disarming voice. It's going to be the ghost typing there. So Shadow Ball now going to be forcing a shield here from the Jellicent unless they decide to let it go. Oh, they did. That's a lot of damage. As Greninja will go ahead and come in and can easily load up on energy. And this is what you want to have when you face off against a Pokemon that's doing all resisted damage. Even though that's still quite a bit. You want to come out of here with a charge move ready to go and then some. That way the Chargebug matchup, you could potentially get 2 Hydro Cannons off there. Or even 2 Night Slashes. Oh, we get a boost. Here we go. This is what you love to see. Chargebug is going to be forced to come back in, but this is where Night Slash now can KO. Because of that boost, they have back-to-back Night Slashes here. This is going to be forcing 2 shields as they, they went for another fast move. Maybe they get to 3. Do we see the Greninja sweet? No, I don't think they get to 3, but they do. Another boost! Back-to-back boost right there. As we will see Skeledirge come in against the Golbat. Ooh, do they get to the Shadow Ball in time? Yeah, they do because of the charge move here. So they're going to go ahead and shield the Poison Fang. They do have the Shadow Ball ready to go, and then they can counter swap into Drapion to close this game. Oh, no, they don't even need to counter swap as Shadow Ball just landed, and that's going to be a good game. Very well played. Skeledirge obviously carrying it right there. All right, moving into the next one, we have Skeledirge versus Azumarill. So bad lead once again, but we'll have to see how they decide to play it out. And we do see the counter swap into Escavalier. This is actually a good counter swap for them. You may not be thinking that as they're double hard countered right here, but because of Crunch, they can flip this matchup. Not that they need to, but they're also drawing it out onto the field, which is really good because Drill Run here is going to be enough to KO, but Skeledirge can now come in, easily farm down. 2 Incinerates should be enough. Yeah, there's 1 was almost enough. My gosh. All right. Azumarill coming back in. They can go ahead and go for Shadow Ball, and then they're going to have to go into their Greninja and hope that there's not a Toxicroak in the back. I think that's where they might run into trouble if it is in fact Toxicroak, and they might need to, let's see here. They're going to go ahead and go for another Shadow Ball. As I say, they might at this point, if they're reading, you know what, potentially that was the only counter user in the game, they might just let Skeledirge go down. Let's see, because it could be Wormadam Trash Cloak in the back. That's also another common pairing. They're going to go ahead and counter swap into Greninja. It's going to be Nidoqueen in the back. Okay, so this gets pretty dangerous for both players, obviously, as a Hydro Cannon will basically one-shot the Nidoqueen, but Poison Jab and Poison Fang will really start to add up. Greninja might not be able to get to the 3rd Hydro Cannon, which is obviously going to be very dangerous for them. So they're going to desperately try. Here comes another Hydro Cannon. This is going to be the race. I think Greninja can get there, but it's going to be very, very close. Let's see. They do get another one. Okay, they got them to the red, but Greninja was still... Okay, I made it... exaggerated that a bit. But it's still... Nidoqueen got the Greninja to the red. Azumarill not going to be able to farm down in time as they can get to another Hydro Cannon, and that's going to be a good game. Very well played. So that definitely played... into their favor by drawing out the Escavalier because Greninja was able to sweep, and that's what you love to see. Right. Moving into the next one, we have Skeledirge versus Palossand. Okay. Let's see what they decide to do. They're going to go ahead and counter swap into Drapion, and Palossand right here, really core breaking. They have access to the, what was that new charge move? We'll see it. Scorching Sands. There it is. Scorching Sands. And none other than a Sandcastle coming in right here, as the Scorching Sands will get shielded. And we do see a counter swap into Charge Bug, which is perfect. They're going to be able to soften up the Charge Bug here. They're going to come back in with Skeledirge and load up on energy, and that's really what you want. You want to try to set up your Greninja to sweep these games, which is why we're seeing the double dark backline, as Drapion on the safe swap can handle most of the meta. I mean, obviously the what was it? The Golurk, the Shadow Golurk was very tough to deal with, but even then they had Crunch, as Skeledirge now can come in and farm down. Still praying that most people aren't running Crunch. It's X Scizor and Discharge, but obviously if the Crunch comes through, it's all over. But Palossand now looking to potentially come back in. They counter swap into Greninja right away, and it's actually double electric in the back, double electric bug, which is very devastating here for Zerfelros, as Night Slash is going to be getting shielded. Hopefully they can get to another one in time. You just got to chip down the health here of Galvantula and hope that the Skeledirge can farm down in time. This is so dangerous. They do have back-to-back charge moves, I believe, so they're going to be able to get an Incinerate through. But the thing is, this Incinerate might be enough to KO, so they're going to no-shield. And it was just a lunge. Incinerate, not enough, but they both go for fast moves, which means it's going to be Palossand here with double disarming voice, and they do not have enough health remaining. So this was a very tough team to face off against, but ultimately, Skeledirge takes it right there with energy. So good game, very well played. All right, moving into the next one. Azumarill again on the lead. We're going to see that Drapion swap in right away, and the opponent not swapping out. Hopefully they can land a Sludge Bomb. No, a counter swap into Toxifex. Oh, that is always devastating when they catch that that resisted charge move, when you could have potentially thrown the neutral with Crunch. Now, this is again a situation where they got to play it carefully. They don't necessarily want to take hard switch, right? Because you need shields for Greninja and Skeledirge. But you also don't want to go down to this Toxapex with it having loaded energy, because those brines are really going to add up. Now, they were able to get it very low, and the opponent's going to have to throw 2 brines in order to take out the Drapion right here. So they're going to let the first one go through. Here comes the second one. And this is where you need to potentially trust in Skeledirge to farm down. You might have to give up 1 shield on a brine. It's looking like that might be the case here. Ooh, this is going to be close. Oh, they counter swap into Greninja, catching the charge move. Beautiful catch right there. Hopefully it's not the Sludge Wave. Yeah, it's just going to be the brine, which is resisted. Azumarill comes in, and like we've seen before, this matchup is not as bad. But they will be going for Night Slash instead of the Hydro Cannon, hoping to get the potential boost, as Azumarill does have a lot of loaded energy. So they're going to be forced to shield here. Play Rough will be one-shotting, and Greninja is actually a bit behind, not only in health, but in terms of energy, as that Azumarill, remember, stayed in against the Drapion until they got to the Sludge Bomb. So this is going to be a very close game. I'm curious to see what the final Pokemon is going to be. If I had to take any guess, it's something like a Wormadam Trash Cloak, maybe a Frostlass, something like that, where it really can't handle the Greninja effectively unless shields are down. So they're getting shields now with Greninja, which is huge. And this is where we could see a counter swap. If the opponent double shields right here, remember, there's a Shadow Ball loaded. They're going to counter swap anyways, getting the Incinerate through, and it's going to be Nidoqueen in the back, which is obviously something that doesn't want to face off against Greninja, but the Skeledirge has near... Oh, the Shadow Ball lands! Incredible amount of damage and a full farm down, and the Crocodile is just going to be eating this team alive, as Azumarill is going to be forced to shield here. But the tough thing about Azumarill is it cannot go for back-to-back charge moves. It physically can't. Ice Beam cannot be loaded up twice. especially Hydro Pump. So Greninja is going to be taking this one right here, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. That was a fun battle. It's always the final battle. It's always the final battle. Good games there, Felrose. This team, obviously, a lot of fun. Skeledirge, Greninja, and Drapion. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of that core. Greninja, obviously, personal favorite of mine, but I have been hearing and seeing a lot of great things with Skeledirge. So if you guys have this team available to you, give it a try. That core looks very fun and very strong, and even games where we saw Azumarill, it's able to be managed because of how those matchups work. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.